Let's get this rocking. All right.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's King Sean here, and I'm not gonna lie, them press conferences, they definitely got me hyped for the future 2024 season. Hey, man, Kliff Kingsbury and Joe Whitt Jr. just had their press conferences a minute ago. Joe Whitt Jr. just wrapped up his press conference about 5 and 10 minutes ago. I'm here to break it down in today's video, but before we do, make sure y'all leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm on the road to 3K subs. If you could hit that sub button, I'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get straight to the video. Alright, so I got a lot of notes from this press conference that I feel like I needed to share with y'all because, man, Kliff Kingsbury and Joe Whitt Jr., they said some very, very, very good things, especially Joe Whitt Jr. I'm excited to get to him, but first, we're going to start out with Kliff Kingsbury. First off, the introductory, Kliff Kingsbury said he likes to learn what makes quarterbacks tick and get to the bottom of who they are as people. So he likes to get to the bottom of, he wants to figure out who they are as people and their traits. He wants to get their best of traits out of them. What else did he say? Kliff Kingsbury said being able to just focus on offense will be great. Obviously, the majority of his coaching career, he's been a head coach at Texas Tech and with the Cardinals in the NFL. And those opportunities haven't gone amazing. And he's always been a better offensive coordinator, a better play call than a head coach. So this is a very good opportunity for Kliff Kingsbury. He said, Dan has a bunch on his plate. I've sat in that seat. So to be able to back up and do that again is exciting. I'm ready to get to work. So you can see, like, him taking a demotion, you can tell that Kliff Kingsbury, he was just done being a head coach. He just wants to be a guy that can develop a young quarterback, develop an offense, and just call plays. He just wants to be a coach. So I like that a lot. Kliff Kingsbury declined to get into specifics with the Raiders and the process of getting here. Obviously, he's not going to go into that. Kliff Kingsbury, although he runs the air raid system, he ran it with Texas Tech, with the Cardinals, all throughout his career, of course. He said that he wants the Commanders' offense to be balanced, run the ball, and utilize play-action passes. Something Eric Bieniemy barely did, ran the ball. And when we did run the ball last year, we did a really good job at it. I mean, Brian Robinson, he averaged like 4.3 yards per carry. As a whole, we averaged like 4.2 to 4.3 yards per carry. Yet we ran the ball the least amount out of any team in the NFL last season, which is insane to me. So Kliff Kingsbury coming here saying, you know, he runs an air raid system, but that does not mean we ain't gonna run the ball a ton, because we still are going to run the ball a good amount. So I like to hear that. Kliff Kingsbury tells reporters his year away from the NFL at USC will make him a better coach. What else did he say here? He said, he jokingly said that getting Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback from the Chiefs, would be nice. Obviously, hey, I've always thought about a Patrick Mahomes trade, and to be honest, that would hurt any team's future. To be honest, they'd have to get rid of their draft picks from their next 5 draft classes, which would be insane. Not gonna lie, and on top of that, a lot of players, which would be pretty crazy. Kliff Kingsbury on Dan Quinn. He's a guy I've always looked at as if there's an opportunity, it would be great to work with him. There's no better leader than Dan Quinn and Adam Peters. So, yeah, Dan Quinn and Adam Peters, they are stand-up guys. Adam Peters was the top GM candidate, in my opinion, this offseason, and we got him. Dan Quinn wasn't my top candidate, wasn't most Commanders fans' top candidate, but he's still a good leader, stand-up guy, and he's built a good staff. I will discuss that probably later today, post a video about that as well. Kingsbury said, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm big on evolving. So yeah, he's going to be asking questions to other staff members, other offensive staff members to be specific, and other players on how Kingsbury can help them, and some advice he gets from other staff members, which I really like as well. Kingsbury said he's excited about having Anthony Lynn on the staff. That'll be huge. Lynn will be our run game coordinator and running backs coach, which is huge. He's had a tremendous track record with running backs. So yeah, I mean, Anthony Lynn, LaShawn McCoy with the Bills, he did a really good job with him, as well as CMC this past season with the Niners, as well as Austin Eckler. He was pretty good at developing him with the Chargers. What else we got here? We only got one more actually before we get to Whitt Jr. Kingsbury says new assistant quarterback coach David Blau, we announced the hire of him today, is one of the smartest quarterbacks I've been around. Kingsbury expects him to move up fast in the coach ranks. So, yeah, David Bao, hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Correct me if I'm not, but he is 28 years old. He last played for the Lions, I'm pretty sure, back in like 2019, 2020, or maybe 2021, somewhere around that time. But yeah, that's a pretty solid hire right there. Assistant quarterbacks coach. Obviously, our quarterbacks coach is Rita Pritchard, which I like a lot. So David Bao, that's a pretty good hire right there. He has high IQ. He's a former NFL quarterback, so could never go wrong with that hire there. Now, on to Joe Whitt Jr. Man, Joe Whitt Jr., he had a lot to say, and more specifically, a lot of good things to say, a lot of intriguing things to say. First off, he said, we have coaches from different trees, which, first off, I've said multiple times in a lot of my past videos that, man, we're getting guys from everywhere. It's not like Ron Rivera where, we're just getting guys from one tree, one team, the Panthers, where Ron got most of his guys, besides Jack Del Rio, but he had ties to Jack Del Rio as well. Obviously, most of the guys we hired to our staff has ties to Adam Peters, Kliff Kingsbury, Jason Simmons, and Dan Quinn, obviously, but they're still from different places. I mean, Jason Simmons, he's from the Raiders. Joe Whitt Jr., obviously, he followed Dan Quinn. Kliff Kingsbury, he reminds Dan Quinn a lot of Kyle Shanahan. So I love how diverse our coaching staff is, and it looks good on paper right now. We still have to see the results they bring, but right now, it's looking promising. It's got a lot of promise to it. Joe Whitt says it's more about play style, and we're going to get that right. We're going to be a run and hit defense. I just told our staff this. The way that we live is not for everybody. So, yeah, hey, we gonna be a violent defense. That's what Joe Whitt Jr. tried to emphasize in his press conference today, which I love. It's gonna be the complete opposite of Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera's defense, which I'm gonna love. I'm really gonna love. John Kahn, I don't really like this question because he asked if he's ready to be a coordinator, and I loved Whitt's response. He said, I've been coaching in the league for 18 years. I've been ready. I love that from Joe Whitt Jr. He's coaching the NFL for a while, so I know he's ready, and I'm happy Dan Quinn gave him the opportunity to be a defensive coordinator. What else did he say? Joe Whitt Jr., he says 3-4, 4-3. Everyone plays the same coverages. Structure doesn't matter. The main thing that matters is, are we going to arrive violently and turn the ball over and disrupt these quarterbacks? So obviously, yeah, 3-4, 4-3 are important, but what matters is developing these players and getting them up to speed with the games and making sure that obviously we're a dominant defense on Sundays, which I love this quote right here. This is one of my favorite quotes from Joe Whitt Jr. Throughout the entire press conference, really. What else do we have? Joe Whitt said, after talking about Marcus Parsons and how the Cowboys move them around to create matchup problems, he said, we have some guys here that we feel can create some real matchup problems. So he's probably talking about like guys like Emmanuel Forbes, who's pretty versatile, and Jamin Davis as well. What else do we have here? Joe Whitt said, on generating defensive turnovers, we want the ball. The ball is life. The ball is air. We've struggled as a team creating turnovers over the past couple of seasons. And the Cowboys just led the league in turnovers. I'm not actually, it was the Ravens, but I'm pretty sure they were in top 3 in turnovers, which is insane. So, and hey, DeRon Bland, he had 5 pick sixes this past season, sorry. And then Trayvon Diggs back in 2021, he had 10 interceptions. So, hey, we're going to be creating a lot of turnovers. Hey, maybe expect that Emmanuel Forbes breakout season next year. Don't want to bet on it, but we'll see. And then we got a few more quotes here. Joe Whitt is real easy to like. It's my family, my faith, and my football. I'm a simple guy, so he's a very simple guy. Whitt said on helping players learn, if the players are struggling, that's our fault. I'm dyslexic. I always talk about coaching the creative learner. If he struggles to learn, it's our job to teach them in many different facets and ways, and that's why they pay us. So he's basically saying if the player fails, it's on their bad, and I kind of agree with that, to be honest. I mean, if the player absolutely sucks, then it's on them. But you know, the coaching staff just didn't get enough out of our players last season. Jamin Davis, Emmanuel Forbes, so Quan Martin, so they just didn't get enough out of our players, and I think that's what Joe Whitt Jr. and Dan Quinn are going to do, as well as Kliff Kingsbury on the offensive side. And then one last close. This is one of his quotes to close out the press conference. He said, "Sean Taylor is my favorite player." And I'm sold on Joe Whitt Jr. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I am ready to run through a brick wall for him. I love this press conference. I really did. So that's it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment your thoughts and opinions down below on Joe Whitt Jr.'s and Kliff Kingsbury press conferences. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.